Hi and welcome to txtNationTV.
We are back.
And we've got a lot to talk about. It's Samsung, Apple, Nokia, and a little bit of...
Sad news for Blackberry.
Yes. Hi and welcome back to txtNationTV. My name is Rusty G.
I'm Alan.
And it has been a very, very long time, but
Yes,
we would love to bring the show back, and that's what we're doing right here, right now. We're going to hold off on the upcoming news that we have for the show as to get right back into the tech news, as it were. Obviously,
yeah, we've missed out on a couple things.
Yeah, we have. The last couple weeks have been obviously a big change for the cell phone, smartphone market. We now see the last thing that we saw from Samsung was the Galaxy S4 earlier this summer.
Yes.
And it was, you know, to much applause and craziness.
That
I think.
Well, that presentation was actually good. I mean, there was some hokey moments that all presentations have. We've been to a lot of them.
Right.
But that one was actually good, clear, understood. The crowd was excited.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly.
Not for this new one. Yeah,
they announced the new Galaxy Note 3 and also the Galaxy Gear with an update to the 10.1 tablet that they have. The Note 3 was to be expected, bigger, lighter, faster, smaller, all that jazz. It comes with a 2.3 gigahertz quad-core processor, 13 megapixel camera, which is awesome. Also a 3220 milliamp battery, which is a little bit bigger.
Shoots 4K.
It shoots 4K video. That is...
Do we have a 4K monitor to put that on?
We do not, but we will someday, hopefully, in the long out future, have that. But 4K video, I've seen a few reviews of it so far. They don't have the anti-shake, so that as you're holding it, it doesn't, you know, it kind of wobbles a little bit. So that's kind of annoying, but that's something you can, you know, try to fix and post-edit. So we'll see what happens there with that. But I think the star of the show, like you told me, was the Galaxy Gear. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to know about the smartwatch.
Well, yeah, the watch was just, that was the main, like, hush-hush, you know. They will be announcing a watch of some sort. And when, I can't pronounce all these Samsung guys' names, but he was up there, and all of a sudden he said, wait a minute, I'm getting a message. You just heard the whole crowd shudder. Ooh. But that was it. If you watch that entire, like the rest of that mess that they had called a presentation, ugh. Like even when the guy came out to go, I want to tell you about the watch. It comes in orange and beige and beige and blue. Nothing. It was just such a letdown.
Oh, wow. Now, see, I didn't get a chance. I've been a lot more busy here lately, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. So you were telling me that it was just kind of a hokey show this time around.
Yeah, the presenter, he was a short guy. Nothing against short people. I mean, you know, present company excluded, of course. But he had these big white specs on. Hopefully we can get a photo of him.
Yeah.
And bald head. I mean, nothing against the guy. He's probably fun to hang out with and grab a drink with, but he shouldn't have been on that stage.
Wow.
And also, like saying, the crowd wasn't into this one. Like, he had to push the crowd to do things. Like, the guy would talk about something and pause because he paused because he thought he was going to get an applause or like another shudder like the last guy did.
Yeah.
But no, the announcer just kept saying, it does that. Well, tell us a little more about that. Or
trying to get it out of the crowd.
Trying to keep that train from derailing.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
They still have a stylus, and
well, that's on the Note. Talking back about the Note, basically this Galaxy Gear is going to be useless for those of us who don't have the Note 3 as far as pairing, because that's the whole purpose of this smartwatch is to pair with your smartphone, which is going to be the Note 3. Coming up in October when they release the phone, you'll be able to do it right then and there. But then I think it's November. November or later, I think they're going to update the Galaxy S3 and the S4 with software updates to be able to connect to it. So if you want to spend the $200-300 on the watch to have that capability of having a smartwatch, you'll be able to do that in the near future. So
Also, they said you can talk on it like this.
yeah, you know what? This little deal where they put the microphone right here, I liked it. I know it's gimmicky and I know it's kind of stupid, but I liked it.
What? I'm talking on my wrist. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to the future. Hey, the future will say something.
What does the future want to say?
Sorry, he's not interested.
Exactly. The only thing I didn't like about the Galaxy Gear was that the camera was right here, and it was, I think 10 seconds of 720p video.
Yeah, it looked like a zit.
So yeah, it was just really, really bad. So as far as the wristband, they could have done a lot better work. I don't think I need a camera so much here as I do right here so that I can do the Dick Tracy thing.
Like
so
the FaceTime.
Exactly. So Apple, if you can take FaceTime and bring it to the Apple iPod Nano and face it towards me, I'm all happy about it. So speaking of other devices from Apple, that was just announced. What did we just see?
We saw the 5C, which is cheap, colorful,
And unapologetically
plastic. Yeah, that's right. And the 5S. But let's talk about that 5C. First impression.
First impression, they're going the way of the iPod Mini when they first brought the iPod Mini out. All the colors, they want to go with, nanochromatic. If you remember when they first started doing the nanos as well in colors. That's basically what I go back to every single time is the Mini and the Nano. It's plastic. They step back from their metal so they can get that lower price point. It's $99 on a 2-year contract. So it's going to get a lot more people on the iPhone.
Yeah, that's true about that. What I didn't like is that now my phone is useless.
Your phone is
I
garbage.
can put my iPhone 5 now in a colorful case, and I have an iPhone 5C.
That's basically what it is. I mean, the new 5S is now supposedly, and we won't know this until we get hands-on and reviews and different things like that, but it's 5 times faster than your iPhone now. So we'll see what happens in the future with that. But I mean, with an iPhone 5 in a colorful case, and they got rid of, as far as from the top, they're no longer selling the iPhone 5. It's just the iPhone S, the 5S, the 5C, and the 4S.
Yeah, it's in that same category as the iPad 3.
Exactly. So,
Or sorry, iPad.
the new iPad.
The new iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what do you think about the colorful cases?
The colorful cases, here's the thing about that. I saw this on Google+, and if you take a look at this photo here, you will see the case covers the logo on the back. And the thing I saw on Google+ was Steve Jobs would fire somebody for this.
He loves his logo.
Yeah. So I highly agree with the fact that as you look at the back of that thing, you're losing the design of the phone. So that completely sucks for that guy, whoever it is. I think somebody's overlooking something very small. So moving on from the iPhone 5C on up to the iPhone 5S.
Well, the 5S is pretty much a whole different animal. I mean, the presentation was pretty much, iOS 7 was kind of like, here's iOS 7, here's the iPhone 5C. Which we'll talk about iOS 7 later, but the 5C was given a little bit of time because, of course, I mean, it's not like they spent more time talking about the case than they did the actual phone.
Yeah.
But then to the 5S, which we all knew the 5S, we saw photos. We pretty much already knew the insides and out before they showed us.
Yeah, there were videos a week and a half, 2 weeks before of the thing being. We knew everything about it. The rumored fingerprint thing that they've got. That was even. I think everything was leaked.
I mean, all you got to do is look on Apple's Help Wanted page.
Oh, really?
They basically just break it down. Like right now, there's a ad for someone who knows how to work with solar and like wearable technology.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you a watch or a neckband or
something.
A sock. They're doing something.
Sock. You remember the iPod socks for the old iPods?
Yeah.
You stick them in there? All right. I don't know if you remember that, but it's funny.
But yeah, like you said, the fingerprint scanner, which is pretty cool because safety is a big thing, as someone who has had all of his technology stolen.
Yes, very much so. Sad story. If you've never seen an episode before this, I can tell you, send me an email, rusty@txtNationTV. I'll be more than glad to tell you that story.
Yeah, you two can cry together. I mean, it doesn't stop it from getting stolen, though.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if it had like electrical shock on it or something,
Yeah.
but it's a step in the right direction with security.
Yeah,
Even though
and-
the Atrix last 2 years,
2 years ago. Yeah.
that was
Yeah. And here's the thing, I think this was funny. The biggest thing about the iPhone 5S was also the 64-bit processor switchover. Because, I mean, everything's going 64-bit as it were.
Yeah.
You've got macOS 10.78 or whatever it is right now. I don't even know. I don't keep up with Apple. But their latest Lion, I don't even remember. I don't even know what it is.
Mountain Lion, Alley Cat.
Something like that.
I should know, but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just sticking with Snow Leopard because it works for me.
So they're all going in that 64-bit architecture. There are other devices out that are 64-bit, but your PCs are 64-bit. Your phone should be going 64-bit over the next few years.
Yeah, but now developers will have to go to 64-bit, app developers.
And it's, to be honest with you, it's not that hard from a developer side of things. Going 32 to 64 is just a couple of lines of code. And, well, I say a couple, but it's a lot more than that.
It's time.
Yeah, it is time. But I think they had to go to 64-bit for the fingerprint processing part because that's a little bit more detailed as far as what they're picking up, because they're keeping the fingerprint on the phone. It's not going to the cloud, which is a good thing, so you can't pull it down from the server somewhere. But if someone takes my device, my fingerprints could be pulled off of the phone somehow, some way, thinking of a hacker the way I would. Grab the phone, grab the fingerprints, and I'm good,
Yeah.
Or is, as a story I read, FBI inclusion with Apple, to pull everybody's fingerprints. So,
The NSA, they got to get it somehow, right?
so overall, what do you think? Your first impressions, iPhone 5, before we touch it, before we see it, what do you think?
I like the 5S.
Right.
I do. The 64 thing worried me a little bit, but as you're saying, if it's only a couple of lines of code, then my PayPal app, all my apps should still work. It's that whole, you've got your apps, you're used to everything working, and then you switch over, kind of like when I tried that beta of iOS 7.
Right.
Everything didn't work.
Right.
And that can be frustrating for a while.
It can be, but you're not going to see it on the front end as an end user because 64-bit will backwards compatible with 32, just like the PlayStation 2 backwards compatible with PlayStation 1.
With the fingerprint, though, I like that if it can be integrated with other apps. With iTunes, I can buy an iTunes, without putting in my password. I can just slide my thumb. Or the John P. was talking about Bank of America. It'd be cool if you could go to your Bank of America app and you can take care of everything just with the slide. And don't worry, if somebody chops off your finger, fingerprint scanners they need heat and pretty much blood.
Yeah, a human body behind that finger.
A black and dead finger. You're still going to get anywhere. You have a better chance of just spraying it with some light adhesive, putting some silicone on.
Oh, you're telling them. You're telling them. Oh, yeah, that's a great way to go. Anyway, so yeah, iPhone 5S comes in silver-ish color slate, whatever they're leaving that as.
Space gray.
Space gray, and then silver and gold. So the silver and gold, not a big fan of.
What's with gold? Why did everybody flip out? Like the guys on The Verge were talking about. One guy's like, "Hey, my wife already got the gold. We want the gold. People want the gold."
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
You're going to take a beautiful steel-cased device and slap it in an ugly rubber, life-proof, life case,
OtterBox,
some
whatever.
Big contraption that you're never going to see it. So who cares?
Exactly. I'd still go with the slate gray.
Mine's in a fake book.
In a what? A fake book? I thought that was a book.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
meant to look like a book.
Okay. I thought you meant fake book. Like I was like, you paid like a good amount of money for that case. But anyway.
Exactly. We're stupid. So who cares what color it is?
Yeah.
You're going to even the iPhone colorful.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt you're going to see those stupid drilled hole cases.
Yeah. Anyway.
They're going to stick them in an OtterBox.
All right. Enough about Apple. Enough about Samsung.
The camera's good.
Okay.
Slow motion.
I do like the 120 frames a second. Yes.
Yeah. The flash.
Right.
The two hues that kind of bring the perfect skin tone.
Right.
Like you talked about 64, the new A7 chip, so
Right.
it should be faster.
The offloading chip with the motion, the M7 whatever that thing is called, it basically offloads some of the sensors from the main core processor So basically, you're having, I think, the A7 quad core, and then also another core. So technically, it could be 5 cores if you wanted to, go about it. But either way, I'm sorry, iPhone, you're not Samsung Galaxy Note 3. You're not recording 4K video, so you're already out for me.
Yeah, because it's 4K. That's
Hey, TVs are already at 4K. We saw 8K at CES this last year, or earlier this year. So we're going to go back and hopefully see more of that. But anyway, enough of Apple and enough of Samsung. We'll get away from that. And two companies that are also in the news as of lately. We've got Nokia, which was just, I think, the mobile segment of Nokia was purchased by Microsoft. So that is strictly a Microsoft product now. So the funny thing about that, before the purchase, was news came out that Nokia was already shopping around for other names like Android. And so it seems that Android was possibly throwing in some software to the Nokia Lumia series just to see how that would work. Funny story also came up that Microsoft was already working on a Surface phone that they could. So basically both companies had a plan B.
oh yeah.
So if Microsoft couldn't purchase Nokia and Nokia didn't want to work with Microsoft, they both had their ways out, just in case nothing worked. But everything worked out.
I'm sure both companies watching the Samsung presentation and the Apple presentation were like, okay, we don't have that much to worry about then.
But yeah, so Nokia is now, the mobile segment is now owned by Microsoft, so that's all sorts of craziness. We'll see what happens there. I mean, they're already, pretty much owned by the Windows Phone market. Nokia basically lost their Symbian years ago, even though it's still out there and you can find it, but the Symbian's out the window. So moving away from that one into the fourth and final big name of cell phone makers that's still alive for some reason, but Blackberry.
Yeah, Blackberry.
Yeah. So Blackberry is maybe going to get trounced up into a lot of smaller bits and pieces, like Ma Bell, back in the early 80s or late 80s and 90s. Yeah. So apparently they got a lot of patents and things that need to be sold off. So we're going to see what happens with them. We don't know anything just yet. BlackBerry's just kind of sniffing around, see what could happen, because obviously...
Yeah, it's a shame, because when the iPhone first came out, people in the business world just kind of laughed at their heads. If you had a BlackBerry, that meant, you were in first class, you were doing business. They saw an iPhone, it's just something for teenage girls to put in cute cases. But we knew all along that Apple's plan was to go to the business side, and now almost every business, it's either an iPhone or an Android device.
Yeah.
BlackBerry, they had their email client, which was the best, was supposed to be the best in the mobile world, but
Yeah.
it's fallen through.
Take a look at this picture right here of the BlackBerry, whatever it was, earlier this year. All right, so that's the phone that was supposed to be the quote-unquote savior for BlackBerry.
Yeah, the game changer.
Yeah, because we remember seeing this at some basketball game by one of the CEOs, 2011, I think it was. No, 2012. He pulled it out at some game, the CEO, and somebody took a picture of it. It's like, there's the BlackBerry device that we've been waiting for years. And it didn't pan out. I mean, you can see the sales. How many people do you know that own this new BlackBerry? I've seen one out in the wild, out on a city bus when I was, riding around.
I haven't seen one like anybody using it. I've only seen it, just like in Best Buy or phone kiosks,
Yeah, so that kind of sucks for BlackBerry. So we hope the best for them. Obviously, I just don't see that the future changing for them. I do see them being trounced out and BlackBerry goes away. And it really sucks because, BlackBerry at the top out in 2008 was worth just over $84 billion. That was crazy. You look at BlackBerry now, it's $5.4 billion. They've dropped a long way when it comes to shares.
It's a lot of money, but there's still $1 billion in there. I mean, to me, that's...
Yeah.
Maybe they can write software. Something could happen.
They've got patents on their keyboard, and they've got patents and other things that they can, that's the reason why some of the shareholders are looking into breaking it up into smaller things, maybe selling off some of their stuff. And, maybe BlackBerry becomes, something else. Maybe they go back to the RIM name, and BlackBerry being one and RIM being another, and RIM can go do their keyboard stuff and go over here, and BlackBerry can just die. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But That's pretty much the news for the week. I think that's going to be one of the longest episodes we've had in a long while, but we had a lot to cover. I do want to get real quick and tell you, hang around this coming Thursday for the Text Minute. We're going to do a quick 60 seconds to tell you what all has changed. You see it behind us. What in the world is going on? Hang on for the Text Minute, and we'll throw it all in there in 60 seconds to let you know what's going on, because we got an update for you. Hang around for Thursday for that. But in the meantime, if you cannot stand to not get in touch with us, we're always online. We've got txtNation.tv.
Friend us, facebook.com/txtNationTV.
Make sure you add us to your circles, gplus.to/txtNationTV.
And follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/txtNationTV.
All you YouTubers, just subscribe. Hit the button right down here. That's right, subscribe. It's youtube.com/txtNationTV.
And our home, txtNation.tv.
He forgot the one place he takes care
No, I didn't.
of.
It's shut down.
You took it down?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No one does Pinterest.
Okay, good.
If
Thank
you do Pinterest and you want it, it's yours. Ain't got time to.
So anyway,
I don't have that kind of time.
check us all out, txtNation.tv. You can always email him, alan@txtNation.tv.
Oh, email Rusty too if you want to, whatever. Rusty@txtNation.tv.
Like I said, stick around for a 60-second update coming up this Thursday to let you know what's going on all around us. We'll see you again for the next episode.